Tonight on Livetalk Diaspora Forum, we continue to look at the coronavirus pandemic and how it has impacted on Zimbabweans, both in the diaspora and back home.
What we know that is that, Chonga, there are 32 cases in Zimbabwe right now. And out of these 32 cases, we know that in Matwele North, there is one person who has been said to have coronavirus. Then in Bulawayo, there are 10, Harare 13, Mashonaland East 5, Mashonaland West 3. So there's a lot that is happening in Zimbabwe. A total of 7,287 people have actually been tested. The latest person that tested positive for coronavirus is a 52-year-old person from Murewa. When we look at the global figures, provided by Johns Hopkins University, we see that roughly about 3,132,363 cases have actually been reported, and there have been 217,947 deaths. Chonga, that is the global picture. In USA, USA has hit the 1 million mark. So there are roughly about 1,012,583 people that actually have contracted the disease, and then 58,000 have actually died. So abantu abaningi bayafa khonapha kule Melika one sibili kuyahlupha okunye kumangalisayo Jonga. So ngasikhangela njalo emhlabeni wonke jikelele abantu abaningi sibili 3 obadlula izigidi ezintathu 3 million sebanjwe ngomkhuhlane, kuthi abangamakhulu amabili 217,000 sebethethwe umkhuhlane lo. Kule Zimbabwe singathi sebebhubhile siyabona bane kuzobuya ke nxa sikhangela ke asebetestiwe 7,287 kunjalo Jonga.
Aiwa, indeed rumpenyu Gibbs Dube ndinoziva kuti wandusiwa kundoona saka nhasi wafara uri kundoona pano pachirongwa cheDiaspora Livetalk. Vazhinji vangashamisira kuti sei tisiri kuonana tichishanda tese, musakanganwa kuti tiri kugara kudzimba. Inonzi lockdown, vamwe vari kuiti stay at home, vamwe vari kuiti quarantine, handizoti tingazi tiri quarantine there Gibbs kana kuti isisi kungogara kumba chete.
I think we are staying at home trying to avoid contracting the disease. So sisihlalele endlini kusebenza soma basement lendawo ezinjalo futhi kuyasebenza.
Ndizvo ini ndiri kushanda ndiri kumba, ndiri mudunhu reMaryland kuSilver Spring, zvimwe chete na Gibbs ari mudunhu reMaryland asi ari kuBetonsville. Ndingati chinhambwe zvacho chingaita makilomita angada kuita 5-6 kubva pandiri, saka hatinyanyoswana. Tikaswana tinongofonerana, asi kuonana tafara kuti tiri kuonana nhasi pano pachirongwa. MuZimbabwe mune vanhu vanokwana kuita 32 vabatwa vaine chirwere ichi, koita vana kana kuti 4 vashaya nechirwere ichi, koita mumwe chete akabatwa ndifunga ndimusi wechishanu chapfuura icho ane makore 52 anobva kwaMurewa kumusha kwangu uko. Koita 5 vapora vari kunzi varikabva kubva kuchirwere ichochi. Asi tichitarisawo pasi rose tinoona kuti uwandu hwevanhu vabatwa nechirwere ichi vakupfuura 3 million, vasvika kuenda pa 3,132,363. Koita vafa nechirwere ichi pasi rose vave kudarika 217,000. Tichitarisa kuti uwandu ihwohwu uri kusanganisira vana veZimbabwe. Tine vana veZimbabwe vakawanda Gibbs vashaika muno muAmerica, kuUnited Kingdom nedzimwe nzvimbo, nyika dzakasiyana siyana. Vana veZimbabwe tine urombo nekushaika kwavari kuita munyika idzodzo. Vari kushaika vazhinji vacho vari mumabasa, mumapoka eutano avanoshanda nemamwe mapoka akasiyana siyana. Vamwe vachiti vawana chirwere ichocho kumabasa vari kuendawo kumba vopedzisirawo vatapuriranawo nehama neshamwari kumba, zvinokanganisawo mhuri dzese. Tinotori nevamwe vatinoziva kuUK, ndofunga vashaika baba nemwana nevamwe vachingodaro, amai nevana zvichienda zvichidaro. Idambudziko guru ratarisana neZimbabwe nepasi rose Gibbs.
Yes, we've got our guests lined up right now, and the first guest is Dr. Masimba Mavaza, and then the second guest is Miss Nomsa Nekavana. Both are in the United Kingdom, I guess. So maybe we'll start with Dr. Mavaza. So you can pose a question, then I'll bring him on, Chonga. So pose the question.
Yes, Dr. Mavaza, welcome to our show. I think what many Zimbabweans want to know is how the pandemic has affected Zimbabweans, especially there in the United Kingdom, because we are seeing a lot of information circulating on social media platforms of Zimbabweans. So and so has passed their way, so and so has passed their way, so and so is not feeling well. So maybe he can help us by, if there are any statistics, maybe telling us how things are in the United Kingdom.
Yes, so let me bring him on stage so that he can actually respond to your question. Dr. Mabaza, good evening. Welcome to the program. You can respond now.
Good evening, gentlemen and a lady. Good evening to our viewers. Thank you, Jonga. The first thing is, here in England, we have got one big problem. The problem is we have so many Zimbabweans in England. And most of Zimbabweans, probably 90% of Zimbabweans in England, they work in the health industry. Some are nurses, doctors, care workers, and some just work in the NHS per se. So because of that, most Zimbabweans make quite a big percentage of foreign workers or foreigners working in the NHS. And because of that, then we become soft targets for the virus. For example, now, yesterday we were 29. We had 29 nurses who have died in England. Out of about 42 people have died. 42 Zimbabweans. Of the 42, 29 are nurses. Today we lost 2 more, which makes them 31 who are nurses now. Now the major problem which we have seen in the UK is that most Zimbabweans are obedient to their work and obedient to their bosses. So when they go to work and they are asked to go and do some risky jobs, just go in a ward without enough PPEs, they just go. Zimbabweans are known to be submissive to some time, which causes a very big problem. Of course, we have got few of our people who can stand up and say, no, this I can't do, no, this I can't put. But most of our people, our nurses, they go to work, they do whatever they are told, they want to be good people, and as a result, we've had a lot of them dying. Why would I say that? Because we have officially 100 nurses, the whole country. Of course, the number is more, but they say 100 plus. And we have 32 Zimbabwean nurses who have died out of 100 in the whole country, which means 32% are Zimbabweans. And we are not only Zimbabweans in England. There are so many different nationalities who are nurses. So if you look at it, it means it's hitting Zimbabweans so hard. Bear in mind, we have got our brothers and sisters here in Zimbabwe who are in England, and they came probably under the passport of South Africa, Malawi, or Botswana. They are not counted on the list of Zimbabweans who have died on this list. So in other words, we've got more number of Zimbabweans who have died. Now, I think probably the next question will be, what do you think is the reason? In short, I've talked about that sometimes you are very much submissive. Number 2, Zimbabweans work very hard. And most of these people, they've got 3, 4 different jobs. Some work for agencies. After agents work, they go to their permanent job. So sometimes by the time he goes to the permanent job, he's so tired and his guards are down. And he ends up doing things in this tiresome stupor. And by the time he goes to the ward or goes to a person, he forgets about the protective way. By
Thank
the time he
you. Thank
remembers,
you. Yes,
yeah.
thank you. We just finish off there,
Yeah.
then we proceed. Yes.
So I think by the time he remembers, he has already been infected. And then that infection is taken home, is transferred to the children, is transferred to the neighbors.
Thank you very much, and stay on the line. I think what we are going to do now, Chonga, is that we are bringing another guest, and that is Miss Nomsa Nekavana. And we know that we've got another person hanging in there in Bulawayo. So let's go to Nomsa Nekavana right now. I hope she's hearing us. Miss Nekavana, can you hear me? So I think she can actually hear us. Okay, let me try to bring her on. I hope she's listening and hearing us very well. I think she has got a bad connection there. So let's see what we can do. Maybe let's go to Mr. Michael Ndweni. Mr. Michael Ndweni works for the Vendors Association and is based in Zimbabwe. Mr. Ndweni, good evening and welcome to the program.
Good evening, Gibbs. Good evening, listeners and viewers.
Thank you so much for joining us. So we are doing today the Diaspora Forum, but nonetheless, you are some of the people in Zimbabwe. We are seeing everything happening, and the basic question is, what's going on there at home? Plus, is the diaspora actually supporting people back home? So give us your take on that.
Yes, thanks, Gibbs. Yes, true. The diaspora has been coming handy to assist the citizens in the country. One aspect, they've kept us going through World Remit by sending remittances funds for us to be able to buy food within households. As you're aware that people are on lockdown, very few people actually working right now. So people are relying on going to town to get some money that is sent by relatives all over the world. And some are actually buying food from whatever they are based. And then people are collecting with some agents here in Bulawayo. And also we have seen some diasporians actually donating some PPEs, particularly for a Thorn Grove. Yesterday, we saw some donations that came from a number of our citizens dotted all over the world trying to come in and assist. So they've been keeping people going, and also not necessarily that, but also making sure that hospitals have at least some resources or materials to use during this crisis.
Hear him right now. He's in Bulawayo. So hold on there, Mr. Ndweni. So I think we've got Nomsa who's queued in. I think she has got a problem with the link. I think she can come out of this show and then come back. But I'm happy that Chonga, we are joined by another guest, Lo Ngubabra. Ubabra ukhona ngale e-UK. Babra uyangizwa yini Tobendala khonapho? Ngalo Babra uyangizwa? Ukhanya ngazani usadinga indawo engcono ukuthi angene kuhlelo. Ukuthi sibuyele ke kuJonga enxe uyafuna ukuthi akhulume ngokunye afuna ukukhuluma ngakho. Baba Jonga sungakhuluma khonapho ofisa ukukhuluma mfowethu.
Yes, Gibbs, I see one of our viewers, Pedisites Tole, has sent a comment there. He says, yeah, situation is bad in Africa because we are not told the truth, or people are not tested because we don't have enough kids. I think that's one of the issues that he's raising there, the issue of test kits. But for Zimbabweans, I'm not sure whether we have exhausted the number of test kits we have so far, because the number of kits we had, I think they number in hundred thousands. But so far they've tested around less than 8,000 people, which means they still have enough test kits, Gibbs.
Yes, so we see that the doctor is still in here. Maybe you can ask him in Shona to respond to your question, and then we'll bring him on board.
Yes, rekaindi kande mubvunzo tanzwa vachitsanangura Dr. Mavaza nerurimi rwechingezi rwechirungu vachitaura ivo kuti dambudziko riri kunyanyosangana nevana veZimbabwe vakawanda vari kushaya zvikuru iko kwavo kuUK inyaya yekuti vakawanda vaipinda vachishanda vasina zvinodzivirira kana yatingati maPPEs. Dzimwe nguvawo vamwe vaingoti rekaindisenze nekuti ndanzi enda unoshanda apa vasina chivindi chokuti vanotaurira mukuru webasa kuti aiwa yakona kundikanda mumoto handina kugadzirira ndipei zvokundishandise. Ndofunga ndo imwe yenyaya yatanga tichitobatawo pachirongwa chedu chezuva ranhasi panyuzi dzedu dza7 chekuti vanhu vakawanda zvizvarwa zveZimbabwe kunze uko vari kungopinda vachishanda vachisenza vachiteerera vakuru vemabasa vasina zvikwanisiro zvinoita kuti vange vachidzivirirwa kubva COVID-19 kana coronavirus. Dr. Mavaza, ndofunga mungangotsanangura zvimwe chete nerurimi rwaamai.
Yeah, let's bring him in there to hear what the doctor is going to say. So, Dr. Mavaza, go ahead.
Maita basa. Right. Sezvataura vakandembiri. Ndandiri kuti ni dambudziko guru ratinaro muno munyika yeNgirandi nderekuti vanhu vekumusha kwedu zvizvarwa zvezimbabwe tine kuteerera kwakawandisa, tine tsika dzakawandisa kana tiri munyika yevatorwa, zvinoita kuti kana tikanzi enda unosevenza mumba mune vazhinji vari kurwara nechirwere ichi, munhu anongoenda asina kupfeka zvakakwana zvinomudzivirira pachirwere. Vamwe vanongopfeka magrovhosi zvinongovhara maoko zvatinoti zvivhara chanza. Kana vangopfeka izvozvo magloves iwayo anongopinda, muromo hauna kuvharidzirwa, maso haana kuvharidzirwa. Ende dambudziko guru riramba nderekuti chirwere ichi hachisati chakunyatsozivikanwa zvakakwana kuti chinopinda nepapi chaizvo. Tinoudzwa kunzi chinopinda nemaziso, chinopinda nemumhuno, chinopinda nepamuromo. Kana ukachibata maoko ukazobata mhuno dzako chinogona kuita sekutapukira. Our knowledge is limited to that level. But dambudziko guru nderekuti iro paunopinda mweya uchingofunga kuti wakavhara maoko oga nemuromo chete, unenge watozviparira. Nekuti tikatarisa vazhinji vari sekuItaly vanenge vakapamba miri wose nemaplastic, vanenge vakapfeka zvidziro zvinonzi hapana ganda rake rinenge richionekwa, kana kumeso kwakasara maziso anenge achingodongorera paari kuenda, which means kuti pane tarisiro yekuti pane kakutya yekuti chinogona kupinda nemuganda munobuda nedikita. Asi vanhu vedu havaudzwi nekuti hatisi kuudzwa zvakakwana. Vanoti vakakutaurirai kuti ndo dambudziko ratiinaro iri, vanhu hapana anoenda kunorapa. Rimwe dambudziko redu nderekuti tajaira kunzi tinogona nekunzi pachirungu vana yes man kana kuti good boy. Izvi ndo zvanyanya kuuraya vanhu vedzinza redu kana vanhu vekumusha kwedu munyika yevatorwa. Vanoda kuti pabasa vagozivikanwa sevashandi vakuru. Zvino ini chiyambiro andinopa ndekuti kana kunyange tiri kumabasa ngatishandei nemwoyo wedu wese, asi ngatizive kuti basa ukafa vanoisa mumwe munhu, asi iwewe ukafa kumba kwako havaise mumwe munhu panzvimbo yako. Kana tikatarisa chimwe chinonyanya kuti shungurudza ndekuti kana vachinge vakupembedza vashandi vemuzvipatara nevemuutano, haumbonzwa vachitaura nevashandi vabva kune dzimwe nyika. Vanongotaura wavo voga, ndo magamba. Iwe hausi gamba, unozongonzi kana uri gamba paunenge wazongofa paya mbichana. Asi zvatora hatisi kuti isusu musaite basa, asi tiri kuti isenzai zviri pamurayiro nekodzero yenyu, muzvidzivirire, nekuti upenyu hwako unongorarama kamwe chete. Tine dambudziko guru rekuti tine dzimwe vamwe vakadzidza vana mukoti, vana chiremba nevamwe vanoita macare workers, anotanga akuudza kuti ini ndakaudzwa naprofeti kuti in the name of Jesus this thing will not come to me. Iname Christian hatishore kunamata, asi hatiedze Mwari wedu nekuenda kunobata nyoka nemaoko. Zvakaitwa naMozisi ega muBhaibheri. Hatingazvibvumira kuti tiende nezita raMwari chete tonorwa nechirwere, iye Mwari achiti tifamba vakachenjera. Zvino izvozvo ndo dambudziko rimwe guru riri kuuraya hama dzedu mukati menyika.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Let's bring in Miss Nomsa Nekavana. She is in England as well. Miss Nekavana, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I guess you are hearing me right now. So tell us a bit about what you're experiencing down there in England. Are you in London or where are you exactly?
I'm in Sheffield, that's north of England. People are dying here, and it's something that we've never, well, in our lifetime we haven't experienced what's happening right now. And it's like every day we're expecting some bad news, and there is always bad news every day. It seems like the past few weeks, it's like almost some day there is a Zimbabwean who's died somewhere. And with whatever is happening, everybody's scared. I work in the healthcare sector. I'm not trained, but I work in the healthcare sector. We see it in every day, and now even is scared of going to work because we're in one of these countries that everybody thinks that we've got everything. We don't have everything. People are dying, and we don't have I'm not in the forefront of, the general side where they deal with those things, but where I work, there's still some cases of those people with COVID-19, which is scary. Sometimes you go to work, then the following day think, no, I'm not going. I'd rather stay at home with the kids. And even if
Yes, I think yes. Go ahead, because you're breaking a little bit. Okay, can you hear me? Go ahead.
Sleep when you're like we're just waiting to die now.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like every day you just.
Go ahead.
Are you still expecting me to continue? It's
Yes,
scary. It's scary. It's like every day you hear something, and sometimes you hear somebody that you know, then you didn't even hear they are poorly, then the next minute they are gone. It's one of those times where you kind of really don't know what's happening and what's going to happen, and it seems like nobody knows what's happening really, because I don't think even the medical people know what we are dealing with in this time.
Yes, thank you so much. And please place your camera in a way that we can see you. Thank you very much. Now we can see you. Place it again in a way that, yeah, great. So, silobaba umhlanga olokho emile khonapha. Uthi sithatha ubaba umhlanga sesibuyela kubaba uJonga Kantemeli. Sibone ukuthi ubaba umhlanga uthini. And we're happy Dr. Tefson Samkwema is here as well. So let's start with Mr. Mhlanga. We talk to him and then we let him go. Baba Mhlanga, ungawutshona njani?
Tuwe kunjani ba?
Siyaphila mfowethu. Kunjani khona ngapha eGoli?
Uyangizwa tu?
Yes, kulalele sibili ye. Kunjani khona ngapha?
No, eGoli ku right, but the audio is very bad too. It's very bad. Akuzwakali next.
Yeah, thina siyakuzwa ngapha, so at least singabe sikuzwa. Nxa ulama earphone uzasizwa kuhle. So ngangcono udinga ama earphone, ufaka ama earphones. Ukuze sikuzwe right. So but siyakuzwa siyakupika kuhle. Khona ngani right. Yeah. So ukuthi patla ngamafutshane usitshela ukuthi kume njani.
Ama earphone akude tu.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Mas singathi sibheke i-situation ekhona ngapha eMzansi. Yeah, the figures are still going up. And death toll is still rising as well. We have been a sign maybe the curve flatten or whatever as they want to put it, but and you see ngapha we're just entering the winter season, so probably like this thing seems to be thriving where it's cold. So thina besase ku a bit hotter season now, sesiyongena ku cold season. We don't know how the figures are going to be like. Probably in the next 3 weeks we'll be talking of a different story, although the government they are in the process of trying to relax some of these conditions abekona ku lockdown current, you understand. So yeah. But we don't know whether it will really come to that ukuthi some conditions, or maybe they will say let's remain where we are, because ama conditions akhona against this pandemic. Personally mina angaboni ukuthi is the right time ukuthi kuyehliswe. Now they've been talking langama schools ukuthi maybe angavulwa in the near future, but I don't know. The government knows what they are doing, but I don't know what abantu bona bathini outside there. But aish kunzima tu. Sihleli nje simele khona ukuthi if anything happens, that's it. And wonke umuntu unelanga lakhe, mhlawumbe uNkulunkulu lana athi dube uzakushisa chise and so forth, they understand. So whatever happens sikwe sesulindile nje.
Hayi ke Mhlanga, okugcina nje ukuthi abantu sizokuthiwa bafuna ukuya ekhaya babe siyadingana ngokubona kwakho.
Angizwanga next to.
Yes, sizokuthiwa kulabo abantu bafuna ukuya ekhaya ukuthi basuke eSouth Africa baye ekhaya. So kuhamba njani khona?
Abantu dube bakhuluma abanye ukuthi hey sifuna ukuya ekhaya, but mina ngibona ngathi bona laba abantu abakhuluma kanjalo Dube, they are being dishonest, because if really they wanted to go ekhaya, I want to believe they would have gone, but I think abantu bakhuluma nje sengathi bafuna kodwa vele besazi inwardly ukuthi vele bona they are not for going that side, ngoba people are looking at ama conditions abazowathola that side, and people don't want to get quarantine at that side, you understand? So, but the law says if you are from outside, you have to be quarantined for, is it 21 days or 14 days?
Yes, 21 days.
So, but yeah, but people don't want to go to buy quarantine. Abafuna ukufika nje walk in baqonde ngakibo, which is not even fair again to the people labana bangale, you understand? So I mean, laba bantu bafuna ukubuyela nje bona ngathi they are not very honest to this whole thing. Ngabantu nje abathi bafuna ukubuyela ngomlomo but bona bengakhulumi okweqiniso yabo.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mhlanga. Uthi uhlala ubuya kuhlelo. So sisithatha ubaba olandelayo. Thank you so much.
All right, Babu Dube, sharp, yeah.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So that is Mr. Mhlanga. He is in South Africa, Jonga. What Mr. Mhlanga is saying is that, you know, there's a lot that is going on, and people fear that maybe during the winter season, you know, this thing is going to increase in terms of cases. So we don't even know what is going to take place. So now, Jonga, if you are hearing me, so I'll bring you onto the stage so that you can ask one or two questions. So you can go ahead. We've got Dr. Jameson Saungwema, and we still have got Mr. Michael and Weni, and we still have the other two people that we invited here. Go ahead.
Yes. That's Professor Jameson Saungweme.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. Professor Saungweme is someone we have worked with for a long time, and we brought in him today. We brought him in for his expertise on the issue of malaria. As you know, that back home there are problems that a number of people have died from malaria, and they are saying that the symptoms are similar to COVID-19. So maybe we can dwell on that with Professor Sangwema. First, I can go to Dr. Mawaza. Dr. Mawaza, I think he can help us on that one, the issue of malaria versus COVID-19. The symptoms are the same. How can someone differentiate that?
So let's get Dr. Mawaza on the show so that he can respond to that. Go ahead, Doctor. Just briefly, we give you about a minute and a half. We seem not to be hearing you, Doctor. I think check your mic. Maybe something happened to it, and then you come back. So what you can do, get out of the show and then come back. Then we can hear you. So right now, I think we've got a challenge that we can't hear you. So I think it's going to come back, Jonga. Maybe you can proceed to Dr. Saungwema and ask him one or two questions before we go to the other case.
Oh.
Yes, we can hear you, Jonga.
Yes, Professor Saungweme. We can maybe you can start by explaining the symptoms of malaria and the symptoms of COVID-19. How people can differentiate between the two.
Dr. Saungweme, can you hear us? Go ahead, sir.
I can definitely hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, good. So the symptoms of malaria are, I guess, they are pretty common for most Zimbabweans who have had the ailment, and the most distinctive symptom is fever. That means you feel hot, alternating hot and cold chills, and it doesn't matter how hot it is. Sometimes you feel like going out in the sun, and then after a short time, you want to get every blanket in the house around you, and you're shivering. And that's usually how malaria does. And malaria normally has that in regular intervals, where it switches from hot to cold, where you're feeling that. And then there's usually headaches. Sometimes there's a slight cough, and you can also have abdominal issues like a little bit of diarrhea, but it also causes pain, joint pain and muscles, and general malaise, just feeling like you don't really want to get up. And I and those signs usually come to you if you visited an area where malaria is endemic. And of course, sometimes on rare occasions, the buses that come from malaria infested areas can actually bring the mosquitoes that can cause that, which we call airport or bus stop malaria, which you can also get that way, even if you're in a place like Harare where malaria is not indigenous. But however, generally, the people who are in those areas like Gokwe, Kariba, the Lowveld, Eastern Lowveld, Sabi, Limpopo region usually have those. In Chirezi, Zaka, Gokwe, Kariba, those areas, malaria is really endemic, and some parts in the Eastern Highlands, like Bema Valley. So those are areas that are really known already to have malaria. And coming to the symptoms of COVID, the symptoms of COVID are a little more tricky. Some people have fever, like a certain percentage of people also do have these fevers. I'm not sure if those fevers are very characteristics of the malaria fever. I'm not very sure about that. And I know some people have also had a bit of diarrhea, maybe 2 days before the symptoms onset. And then there's obviously the persistent kind of dry cough that some people also have. And the malaise is also common because people really feel like not getting up. But most medical professionals say don't succumb to that. Get up and move around. And so at least that is what I would say is kind of the distinction. But
yes, okay, just wrap it up. Just wrap it up there. Yes.
Okay, so I'm not really sure how it's kind of hard to really clearly distinguish between the two, especially if you happen to have visited those same areas where malaria is endemic.
Thank you so much, Jonga. I think he has actually answered some of your questions. And so let's go to Ubaba Undiweni. Utala simisile. So siya umama ke unekavana. So Ubaba Undiweni kuna ngapho ke kobulawayo. Xa ungasitshela ukuthi abantu umkhuhlane lo nxa bewukhangele bawubona unjani? Bawesaba abantu baphuma phandle kuhamba njani? Akusitshele khonapho. Ngamafutshane baba.
Ngiyabonga Gibbs. Abantu kobulayo lapha umkhuhlane bekhanya balolwazi ukuthi umkhuhlane ukhona and bayawesaba, kodwa kube sokuba lenkinga ukuthi abantu bathi manje nje bakudla akwenele ukuthi sihlale ezindlini. Indaba yempuphu kakhulu iyehluphayo. Ungahamba ezitolo ezinkulu zathola abantu befolile bezama ukuthi badinga impuphu. Awutshela abantu ukuthi manje ufuna ngehlala endlini ngisakudlani. Le mpuphu leyo kuthiwa kumele itholwe ngabantu kuthiwa iyehliswe kahulumende leyi echiphileyo leyi ayibonwa, iyake ifike lapha nalaphana but abanye abantu bayayiswela. So uthola ukuthi abantu bagcina besuke ezindlini bengahlali ezindlini ukuthi benqabe ukuthi bangabamba umkhuhlane begcine besiya ezitolo besiyabuthana. And usize ukuthi nxa besezitolo khona ngale futhi kabalandeli lokho elithi ngesikhiwa lina maintaining a distance from umuntu uyabulayo ukuthi bayehlukane kube lesikhala mbijana ukuze kulomunye lomkhuhlane engawutholi. Abantu ke abalanda balakho lokho umuntu esefuna ethola impuphu, even ungabatshela abantu ukuthi hayi ke manje mbijana phela livula izikhala, umuntu athi hayi abantu uzangingenela so ufuna ngiluze impuphu ngenxa yomkhuhlane wakho. So ubuzima obukhona, kodwa abantu bayawazi. Ungahamba usuza ngapha ezitaladeni bakhuluma ngawo sibili, kodwa so ngathi sokuyingoma nje. So kudinga ukuthi abantu ke bathole ukudla, ngoba ukudla kuqakatheke kakhulu ukuthi bahlale ezindlini ukuze benqabele lo mkhuhlane.
So you are saying that social distancing in English is not an issue here? People are just not concerned.
They are concerned, but I think they are driven by the need to bathole ukudla. No, the problem is that people have limited access to food as in. So people have to go to the shops to try and at least get meal. And you cannot tell them then to say stay at home when it's the round of food. And some are telling us, no, we need to get meal, we need to get food for us to stay at home. So you want us to die of hunger. So it's best for me to go and queue Well, then if I die because of queuing for meal, then so be it. But I think the problem is that there's limited access to meal. Some don't even have at all. They need to ask around. They need to maybe see for those that are see those that are donating and try to get something. So the issue that people are aware about the disease. People are aware that they need to stay at home to not to get the disease or not to get the virus. But people are saying that we can stay at home, but we don't have food. We need to go and get food. And even the subsidized meal that I think some of you have been reading about seem to be coming to some townships. Some townships don't have. Just today, some vendors from Culture Park, for those who know Bulawayo, Culture Park is about 20 or something k's from the CBD. People say that from where they are in the new township, the extension further down as you go to Emangabe and Eluvebe, for those who know Bulawayo. They were saying they've never seen that meal. It's like they're neglected at all. They don't have access to that meal. They just hear that they subsidize meal, but they haven't bought it. Even any one of them has never managed to get the meal. So that is the problem that people are having. That if you want us to stay at home, but then we're hungry, we need to find food.
Thank you so much and stay on the line. So let's go to uNomzane Kavana. Angene like kurapha singakai kuba bujonga kanamiri. So ke nxa sikhangela mama khonokho ukuthi abantu kulama pressing needs abafunayo. Okunye kwangikhona siyakwazi ukuthi kusesikolo la. When uyasebenza kakhulu labantu esikolo ulethe inhlelo ozenzayo. So akusitshele njalo ngamafitshane nje 1 minute ngakhona ukubona ukuthi wena ongakwenzela abantu ekhaya. So what's to connect civil cool. So ngena khona pho mama.
Okay, mina ngibuya kunhlanganiso yeMophane Foundation International esikhangela abantwana abahlala emakhaya sibabhadalela school fees into ezifana nazo school fees, basic needs, I mean educational needs. So right now kuthi kuzoqala lokho thina we've got a program that we umntwana omkhulu right now omdala unabo bonke kufanele ayiqale enasti mayizikolo zivulwa. So we've got abantwana abafeyilileyo abafeyilayo anyway nabefika ku form 4. So siqala ukuthi laba abangathi bayazama sibathathe sibadingele indawo ehlale kuBulawayo, which is something that was on the schedule and we're trying to fundraise. But then COVID-19 yabisifika. While we are supporting abantu abahamba phambili kulokhuzeni kuma fundraising ama crowdfunding elokhuzeni COVID-19, thina we are trying to concentrate ebantwaneni. We know ukuthi lokhu kuzadlula njengayo yonke into ayibifika idlule. It's another war that we are facing ezadlula. Emayidlula abantwana, we need to go back to basics. Abantwana sibathini baqala ngaphi khona lapho. So silabantwana abangu-12 okufanele bayifunda kuBulawayo and sizama ukuba fundraisela ilokhuzeni. Indawo sesisekiwile sesabhadala vele sesakisekiwe indawo ukuthi bahlala eRichmond eBulawayo. We've got 12 kids, 2 from Shurukwi, 4 from Nkai, 2 from Cholocho, and 4 from Ematebele South. From Form 1 to Form 3. Then bese kusibale one oyenast. So abantwana laba sibadingela sifuna ukuthengela impeda like wonke ama essentials and so thina right now while list abanye abantu bonke be crowdfunder for this COVID-19 which siyawa support but thina crowdfunder ilokhuzeni abantwana laba ukuthi ba move because my izikolo sivulwa it should be systems go. Asizi ukuthi na kuqala into abantu sometimes ngathi ayikhohle ukuthi mawusenzeka konke lokho siyakhohle ukuthi there will be a life after this. Now thina kithi life after this abantwana yethu impilo fanele iqhubeke njengoba njalo. We know ukuthi this will impact in so many ways ebantwini. Right now whatever nathi sikuthembile ufadalele because I think 95% of our trustees ade bezocontribute abasebenzi right now. So okungangukuthi into zonke bese sikhangela ukuthi siyathola kwezimali asekho. So thina siyabesicela abantu ukuthi basincedise lathi kwesebenzayo. What is that sincedise abantu abawenzayo? I think good enough.
Yes, so what she's talking about here, Chonga, is that they've got Mophane Foundation, and in this foundation, they are looking for help for some kids, you know, that are supposed to be going in different places for education. And one of the kids is supposed to go to NAST. So she's saying some of the donors right now are not working. So they've got a very serious challenge. So she's appealing for help, you know, in that respect. So we still have got Dr. Mabaza and Dr. Saungweme, so maybe we can pose some questions there, or even any of our guests. Chonga?
I'm not sure whether Dr. Mabaza is connected now.
Yes, I think he's now connected. I think I can hear you. Yes.
Yes, Dr. Mabaza, kumusha uku takaona mamwe mashoko aibuda mune maya mapepa nhau ekuti kune mamwe matest kits ari kunzi zvaari kuburitsa hazvisi zvechokwadi yavari kuti ma-false results. So ndaida kunzwa kuti zvakadaro zviriko here zvechokwadi zvinoitika here kana kuti chii chinenge chikonzera kuti izvi zviitike zvekuti mishina kana zviri kushandiswa mukuongorora vanhu zviri kuburitsa zvisiri izvo zvekuti dzimwe nguva munhu anogona kunzi ari negative ozodzokororwa oongororwa zvakare oonekwa kuti ari positive kana kuti anogona kunzi ari positive oongororwa zvakare ozoonekwa dzimwe nguva ari negative.
So let's bring the doctor here on stage and hear what he can say about this issue. Go ahead, doctor.
Thank you. Mabakanemi zvinoitika kuti mishina iyi ine painopotsawo. Tine mufananidzo wakaitika kuHong Kong wekuti vanhu vanopfuura 1000 churu chevanhu vakanzi vese negative. Pavakazotestwa futi after 2 weeks 800 vanga back to positive. Saka zvinogona kuitika kuti mishini imwe yacho yakagadzirwa nechimbi kuti ikasike kuenda kunzvimbo kwayange ichidiwa, saka haina kuitwa retested, haina kuita stand the heat of the time. Saka it's possible kuti pane malfunctioning machines or testing kits anogona kunge aendeswa kunzoko. Ndokusaka vari kutiwo nyika dzisangomhanyira kungotambira madonations, tangai matesta moona kuti anoita here kuti ashandiswe nenyika yenyu. Dambudziko ratinaro isusu vazhinji vemuAfrica nderekuti hatitorina tajaira kungotambira zvekupiwa, saka hatisi kuwana nguva yekumbozviedza nekumbona kuti zviri kushanda here. Tiri kungohora zvakadaro tongoendesa kuvanhu vedu, zvimwe zviri kuvakwadza, zvimwe zviri kushanda, zvimwe hazvisi kushanda. Saka chokwadi yes zvinoitika kuti mishini matest kit edu mamwe afeile nekuti anenge asina kuitwa tested, akagadzirwa zvechimbi nekuti vada kumita certain number. Pane zviviri zvinoitika baba Jonga. Chekutanga ndechekuti vamwe vanogadzira zvinhu nekuzvihodha nekuzvitenga for political gain. Vanoda kuti politically vaite report yekuti tagona kutonga matongero enyika akanaka. Vamwe vanoita vane pfungwa dzevanhu vari kunoteswa mumusoro mavo kuti no, munhu achateswa uyu munhu anofanira kuwana an accurate result. Saka tikasanganisa zvematongero enyika nezveutano hwevanhu pakati apa panowanikwa zvinhu zvisina kunyanya kufanira. Saka tine masituation akawanda evanhu vakatestwa not only kuZimbabwe, kana muno muEngland vakatestwa vachibva vanzi vari negative, vakaenda kumba vakarwara futi, vakazodzokera vakanzi tine urombo muri positive, a day later vachibva vafa. Tine vazhinji dzimwe ihama dzedu. Saka zvinoitika izvozvo, makiti anogona kutadza kushanda oro anogona kutadza kushandiswa. Dambudziko rimwe riri kuZimbabwe nderekuti makiti paakauya vashoma vakatrainwa how to use them, saka vanosvika vashandisa zvirong vopa results asiriwo. Saka idambudziko guru ratinaro kumusha nenzvimbo dzakasiyana dzeutano, kwete muZimbabwe moga asi nedzinyika dzese dzepasi pano.
Thank you so much. And before maybe we go to the next guest, we see that there are statistics from the NHS in England, that indicate that 16% of the coronavirus-related deaths in the UK are from ethnic minorities. And then they go further to say, the population of these minorities is just about 13%. So why is it that, we've got such a scenario? Is there any scientific kind of value to this data?
Right. I think if we look at this data, most of these statistics are not accurate. Even the Minister of Health here in England have said so, that our statistics are not accurate. The counting scenarios in different countries like Scotland, Wales, England, and Northern Ireland are different. So when they come together with the figures, some figures are left out. But now let's come to the minorities. The minorities who are dying mostly and who are on the statistics are the minorities who are in the front line. Mm-hmm. The minorities who are dying at home are not even mentioned. and which is a problem. So the minorities they're talking about, and with that percentage, it shows you it's a very high percentage only for a working class, not a working class, only a working class in one particular sector. That means there is a great problem there. There are people who are dying who are drivers, train drivers, bus drivers, taxi drivers, and most of those train drivers, bus drivers, taxi drivers are minorities. The Asians, the blacks, are the foreigners who either became British or are on indefinite leave or have got some sort of work permit, but still they remain the minorities. And again, most minorities they stay in their houses, quite a lot of people in one house. You'd find about 11 people in one house. So if one person gets the virus from work, that means 12 people at home are getting it. And as compared to locals, if you say locals, we are referring to the indigenous British people. They sometimes are two in their house, sometimes three in a 5-bedroom house, while the minorities are 15, 16 different nationalities. Yesterday we had an inspection in one house in Leicester where a Chinese family was staying. There were 18 people. Can you imagine if one person it would get sick in there? And there are so many people, the Somalis, our cultures demand that we stay with our relatives. And we don't care whether you sleep on the sofa or on the floor or you sleep on the bed, as long as you're in the house. So that becomes our cultural background poses a threat to
Thank
this
you.
COVID.
Thank you very much, and stay on the line there. Let me bring my co-host, Jonga Kanamiri. So, Jonga, you can hear what the doctor is saying here. But then the issue is we've got another health worker here, Miss Nekavana. Maybe we've got a question for her, in terms of how Zimbabweans maybe are dying there, and any other question of your choice. So maybe go ahead and pose the question to her.
Angwazi ukuthi wayakhuluma isishona ire.
It's in the way.
Yes.
And
Ms. Nikavana, what I wanted to know is we have heard from Dr. Mawaza and also other doctors that most people, especially Zimbabweans who are succumbing to COVID-19, sometimes they are forced by situations to go and work where they don't have enough PPEs. What's your take on that?
So, Ms. Negavana, just bring her in so that she can respond to Jonga's question. So, go ahead, Ms. Negavana.
Yeah, there is an element of truth in it. Okay, mina lensebenza khona right now. Okay, ama-Zimbabweans mostly, what we tend to do, sisebenzela ama-agents. Most of us, we don't have permanent job. I've never had one. I've never tied myself to one job. So I go around. So now it's up to us ukuthi naso kunje sokwazi ukuthi okay, nice situation there is ayisiko right, because ngilapha namhlanje kusasa ngingale kusasa ngingale. So into eyenzakalayo ukuthi now usufile emsebenzini, you don't have a choice, you can't say no ngoba usufikile. Bazokutshela thina what they told us, okay, at the moment mina ngisebenza ku-NHS but as an agency. So what they said, if you are fit to come to work, you are fit to work with any patient. In the COVID-19 AILA, it's just the same. So whatever everybody is doing, that's the same. Then also the issue sometimes akusikho kithi la abantu laba okay ngokuhlakanipha la ngokuthi kona bona kukibo, they can push you forward for something. And abanye abantu they can't say, well, they don't have the nerves to say no. You end up going there. I mean, right now I ended up complaining somewhere and I ended up escalating it because I had to be with somebody on a locuzen for more than what I'm supposed to be, what everybody else is not doing. I'm not doing that. But then I'm not the senior at that particular point in the shift. Somebody senior died doing that to me. Abanye abantu they go. And abanye abantu the situation right now ukuthi you have to support abantu bekhaya. Abantu bekhaya bahlupheka. We've got so many conflicting things that force us to be in the situation.
Yes, can you first ask?
So into
you now. Yes. Go ahead.
Ma?
Yeah, go ahead. We can see you now. We want to see your face.
Okay. We've got situation ukuthi we've got abantu basekhaya they need imali from kithi. We've got our families here. Abantu bekhaya bahlupheka right now kufanele ngithumele imali bangathi abala kudla what do I do? I have to make sure ukuthi bala impuphu bala lokho la lokho. So I've got conflicting situations. I've got my family here. Okay, I can say I don't work bangiphi 93 pounds or whatever bangipha yona. But then if I stay at home, whilst I can go and work, labana basekhaya bayalamba. Then also khona ukuthi most of us very good healthcare sector, which is where everything is happening. Then this is off. Can't is
So
we put ourselves in there, then that's what happens.
Yeah, okay. So hanging there. So well, Jonga, what she's saying is that people are hard pressed for jobs here in UK, and many people don't have permanent jobs. What you do is you do some temporary job here today, tomorrow you do another one there, and so you cannot say no to some of these jobs. And she's in the health sector, and she's saying you can have lots of these. So maybe let's you flip over to Sangweme, but I can see that he has gone. Or maybe go to Michael Ndiweni and then we come back to our doctor. So let's do it maybe 1 minute per time per person so that we can proceed that way. So you may go to Michael Ndiweni and then I'll take on Mr. Dr. Mabaza. Go ahead, Chonga.
Yes, Baba Ndiweni, murikundinzwa here unganizwa?
Yeah, we are also civili. Nyamboni. Profita umkwesi.
Yes, vakuluma vanotaura.
Yeah, I think he mixes all. Yeah.
Yes. Because I wanted him to also mix when he's responding to this, because many people in the diaspora are doing this for the sake of people back home, sacrificing for their families. What can he say about that? The sacrifice that Zimbabweans in the diaspora are taking or making just to make sure that people back home have something on the table.
So, Baba Ndiweni, there is a question. So the question is, people in the diaspora are sacrificing for you back home. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I am very, very touched by Usislo Kurumayo and Kuhlelo. Truly, I'm very touched by what my sister has said. In my initial presentation, I spoke about the situation at home, that people don't have food. And they are sending reports to their relatives all over the world for them to send food. And as a result, our relatives are forced to work so many shifts, like she is saying, to work without protective clothing for them to save their families at home. Things are very difficult here at home. And I think if you are seeing media reports, if you are seeing videos, people are giving their testimonials about the conditions that they are going through right now. Vendors, most of the people that actually are in the country right now, about 80% or so, are people who are self-employed. So during lockdown, they are not working whatsoever. So they rely on remittances from across the world. They rely on getting izimali ezivela phandle. Abantu abaningi ngathi sinxa kunje kuvaliwe abasebenza abaphila ngokuthengisa, so bathembele ukhaleni ezikwenza bezingaphandle kwelizwe, njengoba usome ekhulumile lapho ukhona sebesebenza bengaqoka izigqoko zokuthi bazivikele ngoba bazama ukuthi basindise izihlobo zabo ezingapha ekhaya. So kunobunzima kakhulu. And kuthi ngihlengezela inyembezi nxa ngizwa usisekhuluma ukuthi yena basebenza nzima ukuthi bayenze nokuthi siphile ngapha, size kakhulu lolo. So singathi uhulumende maybe nxa isitayile kathesi abone simzamo yokuthi ayehlise umthwalo osezihlobeni zethu zemazweni ngokuthi angenele ngesiphangiphangi, abone ukuthi uyasiza. I think this is cause for government, because like my sister has just said that they are really working hard to try and keep up with families at home. And I think our government, should they be listening to this discussion, I think we should actually try something to try and help our people. Otherwise, they are, if people are not getting food, our relatives in the diaspora will die, like she's saying, which is very, very sad. It's very, very touching.
So, Chonga, there you are. I think he has said it all. And at the end of the day, there are so many things that are happening in Zimbabwe and outside the country. So maybe you can cross over to Dr.
Maybe, yes, I can just wrap that in Shona before we go to Professor Sangweme. Wangu tanzwa anzazi yangu ya taura pekutanga ndi mzare nomsa nekavana vari ku United Kingdom vataura iwo nyaya yekuti maZimbabweans kana kuti zvizvarwa zveZimbabwe kusanganisira nezvekune dzimwe nyika zvekunze kweBritain kana muno muAmerica vakawanda vari kuzvipira kupinda mabasa iwaya mapoka eutano vasina zvikwanisiro zvinotarisirwa, nokuti vanenge vachitarisa dambudziko rehama neshamwari kumusha kuti vange vachikwanisa kuraramisa mhuri. Vataurewo kuti vari kusacrifice kana kuzvipira kushandira mhuri dzavo dzavainadzo kudiaspora ikoko pamwe chete nevari kumusha, zviri kuita kuti vanhu vapinde munjodzi. Koitawo futi dambudziko rekuti vamwe vari kunzi mazimbabweans nevamwe vekunzewo havasi kukwanisa kuti vapikise kana vakanzi nemukuru webasa pinda unoshanda pakati kuti vaitise nharo kuti aiwa handipindi nokuti handina zvikwanisiro zvinodiwa ipapo. Zvakafanana nekuti unonzi pinda mugodhi, hauna helmet, hauna headlight, hauna magamboots, hauna magloves, wongonzi pinda wongoti arega ndozvona ndaimomo. Ndo matambudziko ari kusangana nevana veZimbabwe. They should speak out for themselves and also make sure that upenyu ndo hwemazuva ose. Basa rinopera nhasi, kana kuti unogona kudzingwa basa mangwana vanenge vawana mumwe munhu anenge apinda pakambani ipapo. Asi iwe upenyu hwako ukarasika, ukafa iwe mhuri yako yatorasikirwa neyo zvachose. Ndo nyaya yatiri kutaura pari zvino. Ndofunga Professor Saungweme vari parunhare zvinezvi tinzwe kuti vanoti ivo. Professor Saungweme, your take on this, Zimbabweans sacrificing for their families back home.
So is he? I think his line has dropped. So maybe you can pose that question to Dr. Masimba Mabaza.
Yes, Dr. Mabaza, you raised that issue earlier, and now it's a question back to you.
Yes. So let me bring him in so that we can hear him very clearly. Go ahead, Doctor.
Okay, thank you so much. I think I will have a very descending response. My advice to everybody out there, our people at home, they need us. They need support from us. But they need us when we are alive. They don't need us when we are dead. So we need to be careful when we work. We do not have to sacrifice our life so that we can destroy the lives of those who depend on us. I think sacrifice must have a limit if you have got people who are based on you. So in other words, what I'm saying is, when you know the situation is bad, you would rather explain at home and say, guys, instead of giving you 200 pounds, I'm going to give you 50 this month, but next month I'll try hard. And as long as you are working safe. If you die today and this money is used today, they need more money tomorrow. Where would they get it if you're gone? And they need you back to Zimbabwe to be buried. Where would they get the money if you're gone? So I think we need to be careful as we work on this. So you need to make sure what you are doing, you are safe and secured. I think I'll bring another topic, another point, with your permission, our hosts. You know, the NHS, the government of England had said it's giving £60,000 to every family member who has lost an NHS, who has lost a member who was in the front line. You see, it looks like a lot of money, but my point is 60,000 is not worth your life. Nobody's worth 60,000. You cannot say, I'm going to sacrifice and die and my kids will get 60,000. It will be gone before you know it. Even before you're dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Doctor, sorry, our time is almost up. So 30 seconds and then we'll wrap it up.
So in short, we are saying, as we work out there, let us be careful. Let us stand up for our rights, stand up for our lives, fight for your own life, and say, if I don't have the equipment needed, I cannot do this work. Even the government here in England have said, if you don't have the equipment, you have a right to refuse to go into the wards or into where you are risking your lives. So in other words, let's stand up, let's open our eyes, and let's be direct when we deal with our bosses wherever they are.
Thank you so much, Doctor, and stay on the line. So let's try to bring in Nomsa Negavana so that she can wrap it up for us. Just in less than a minute, can you give us your last word, Miss Negavana? Your last word, Madam, Miss Negavana. So I think we've got a bad connection there. So let's have maybe Mr. Ndiweni to give us his last word, before we wrap up the program. So, Mr. Ndiweni, your last word, sir.
Yes, my last words will be to say that, or just concur with the doctor, that I think people must stay safe. Those who are working in the diaspora, please don't risk your life. We still need you in the few years to come. We still need you to continue supporting us. But if you die now, we'll be stuck. And also at home, I think those who are listening, let's not put pressure to our relatives in the diaspora, because we are pushing them so hard to actually risk their lives and we lose them. So that is my plea to say, no, we need also to think about their safety. They're spoken, we hear them. We need also to be at least cautious to say, I know right now things are very difficult. People are dying in the diaspora. Maybe let's not put our people in too much pressure. Otherwise, they will die also.
Yeah, I think we are wrapping up right now. Let's just try to bring Nomsa Nekavana again so that she can give us her last word. Ms. Nekavana, if you can hear me, just your last word, less than a minute, madam. Just go ahead.
Thank you for the time, and I think for everybody across the globe, we just pray that we go through this, and at the end of it, we need to think beyond this, because we don't know who's going to go, and whoever is left, there is a massive job ahead, because after this, I can just imagine what's going to be happening. We'll have a global, what do you call it, depression, the one we've never seen before. And I think while we are through this, we need to be thinking ahead of what's gonna happen. And maybe like back in Zimbabwe, we need to be looking at what can we do to sustain ourselves, because this should honestly have taught us that we don't have anything. We're depending on other people. We're depending on other countries to sustain ourselves. Zimbabwe now doesn't have anything other than the meal that you hardly find anyway. There are so many things that we shouldn't be looking for them outside our countries. I think right now we should be, if they're saying there is a next one coming, I'd be wanting to run home and say, okay, if I'm going to die this time, I'm dying in Zimbabwe. I'm not going to die abroad. And that's exactly how I feel right now. If they say there is another coming in months' time, I'd be out of here in like a shot if there was one, if there was an opportunity for me to know what's going to happen. Because like right now, I'm just here in the house with my daughter, just the two of us. And when I go, we don't even hug, we don't even do anything. She's in her bedroom, I'm down here. And it's like when I'm coming, I'm scared. What have I brought in the house to my daughter? So in a way, we should be learning here. This should be one of the most learning curves that we've ever had in our lives. And maybe we need to start talking about what we're going to do after this. Or we start doing now, if we can.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I think we have come to the end of our program today. So now, Chonga Kandemiri, we have come to the end of the program. So we wish to thank Dr. Masimba Mabaza, who is in UK, Ms. Nomsa Nekavana, who is also in the United Kingdom, Mr. Michael Ndiweni in Bulawayo, and Professor Tefson Saungweme is here in the USA. This is Gibbs Dube in Maryland signing off. Jonga, let's remind people this show is pre-recorded.
Yes, inidini Jonga Kandemiri ndiri Silver Spring muno Maryland ndo kuguma kwechirongwa chedu asi muchange muchingoramba muchiteera zvirongwa zvestudio 7 nekutitsigira kwamunoita mazuva ese morara zvakanaka.
Thank you so much, Ms. Nekavana. Thank you so much, Mabaza, and everybody who joined us tonight on Studio 7 Live Talk. Bye-bye.